I'm preparing the live stream, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think we're live. How do I do this? Oh, I have to close this.
I see some familiar faces. Yeah, from the last meeting.
Okay, we're live, yeah? On Sherry's YouTube Cozy Library.
Okay. Okay, I think
Hi,
I will.
everyone.
Should we wait for 4 minutes? 5:08.
Okay.
Okay.
So, do we play a game first or what?
I'm going to I'm going to get my tea.
My tea's already finished. So let's see. Oh, I remember Sari. Hi, Sari. Is this the same Sari?
Mas Helmi, kalau
Hello.
transaksi kartu kredit kena juga ya?
Oh, it's not the same Sari, yeah. Different, yeah, from last time.
It's different.
Oh, okay, okay.
Transaksi kartu kredit kayaknya di...
I remember Malinda.
Oh, hi. Hello again, guys.
Hi.
I think Adinda was also here last month.
Yeah, and Chunul.
Yes, yes. Chanor was here last month.
Okay. And by the way, happy Ramadan and happy fasting for you guys who celebrate.
Sarah. Sheila was here last month, no, yeah?
Hi, I'm new.
Hi, nice hat.
It's red.
Yeah, that's right. Perfect. Daphna, Athena. Oh, lots of new people. Great. Awesome. Okay. So which beach are you at, Sheila?
What is it?
Which beach are you at?
Actually, I didn't think of it yet. Let's say I'm in Miami, whatever.
Linda Budianto. Airin.
There's someone with a Japanese name. Is it Inaya? Inaya, right? If I'm not wrong reading it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
okay. Inaya Z. Is it Z? I'm still learning a lot of
It's that story. I don't know. I think it's not changed yet. I mean,
okay.
I use it for my class, so I haven't changed it yet or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Vienna.
Oh, and I know Daphna from the Cozy Corner, right?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's 8:05. Should we start?
Okay. Halo, Nada.
Okay, Sean, are you ready to begin? Uh-oh. Sherry? She disappeared. Maybe her internet. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for Sherry, I can give some announcements. So there is going to be also book giveaway, and it's going to be in the, if you were with us last meeting, then we will send a link in the chat box, and it's a G form. So you just have to sign it, and then fill which book you want, and then it will be rolled. Lucky draw. And then there's also hat giveaway. Hat giveaway is on IG story. So after the event, after the meeting ends, you can IG story what was your favorite part or what you liked about the meeting, and please tag the Math Tea Book Club Instagram, our Instagram. And then we have 2 hats for 2 lucky winners for the IG story giveaway. And that's the princess turban hat that Krisan is wearing right now. And it's also reversible. Krisan, you want to show it?
Okay, so this side is pink and the other side is black with very beautiful motifs. I feel like a Japanese chef wearing this.
Yeah, okay. So it's the reversible princess turban hat that we have giveaway 2 of those hats on our IG story, and we will choose it tomorrow. So after 24 hours, after 1 day, then we will choose who wins the 2 hats and we'll send it to you. Okay. I'm still, I think something happened to Sherry's internet. Yeah. Krisan, maybe can you?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Phew. Okay. Good.
Okay, so hi everyone, hello and welcome to the Math Tea Book Club. I saw a lot of new participants, right? And some old participants from the last meeting. Welcome back again. And we're so glad to have you here. And before we start the meeting, I want to tell you about some rules. So the first one is please mute your mic if you're not speaking. And yeah, you can turn on your camera if you want to. That will be, we will be delightful to see. It would be delightful to see your faces. And also, if you want to talk after someone, you can just click the raise hand reaction. Yeah, it's on the reaction and there's raise hand. Yeah, you can click it. So we know that you want to talk next about your book. And today we have a good guest host. It is Kak Andri from Penerbit Haru. He will tell us about Japanese books. So it will be an exciting discussions, I think. And as Airin said, we have giveaways. So the first is book giveaways. We have 2 books. One from me. For me is Colin Hoover's November 9. Yeah, for you who loves Colin Hoover. And from Krisan, you can check the book in the Google form later. So in the middle of the meeting, I will give a link to Google form in the chat. You can click on that and then fill in your data if you're new or if you are our old member. And later we will send you our loyalty card that you can use to gain like special gifts in the future. Okay, and there too you can choose which book do you want to win. Yeah, and we will randomize it later. There will be 2 winners. And the second giveaways is 2 hats that Krisan is wearing. Yeah, for that you just have to like put an Instagram story about our meeting. Yeah, it's up to you whether you want to like take a picture of the whole screen or you want to take a picture of you and your hat or with you and your book, and it's up to you. Just make it as interesting as possible because we will choose 2 lucky winners to win Krisan's hat. Yeah. Yeah, and for the others hat, there's 3 hats that we're selling. FYI, the one that Airin is wearing, I'm wearing, and Krisan is wearing, you can get that in our Instagram. Yeah, there's a Shopee link. And it's handmade. Yeah, it's totally handmade. So yeah, that's cool, I think. Okay, so today's discussion is about Asian literature. So please enjoy the meeting. Bring your Asian books. Anything would be fine. Yeah. If you haven't read any Asian books, Indonesian book is also Asian books, guys, to remind you. Yeah, Asian books. Okay, so you can just bring any book. Okay, so because there are a lot of new participants, I think why don't we introduce ourselves once more? Okay, I will start first. So my name is Sherry. I'm a bookworm and a book reviewer. My Instagram is Books at the Library, and I have a YouTube channel, which we are live now. It's the Cozy Library. You can find me on Instagram and YouTube. Okay, we'll be glad to be friends with you. Okay, maybe head over to Airin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Irene, and I love reading books. I also write a little bit. My background is music. I'm a professional musician. So I just wanted to add, so you don't get confused. Andri will give a little bit of discussion about Japanese books, and then after that we will go on to talking about our own books. Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Krisan.
Hello everyone, my name is Krisan. Like Sherry, I also have a booktube channel, although I'm quite new to this booktube world. I only started my channel August last year. My YouTube channel is Krisan Wijaya, just like my display name right now. In real life, I'm a medical doctor, and I'm before a doctor, I am a reader first. So of course, I'm here because I love reading and I love to share what I read with you guys. I'm so happy to be here. Hopefully you'll enjoy your time right now. Okay, we can go on to the next session, Sherry.
Okay, so I forgot to say that we can talk when someone is talking, but you can talk in the chats. Yeah, the chat box is always open. Yeah, that's a good way to respond to each other. You can type anything in the chat box, and maybe someone else can reply to them later. Yeah. Okay, maybe Kandri, can you introduce yourself and bring the meeting?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming today. Actually, I'm not used to talking English, so if I get, confused in some parts, so please pardon me. I want to share a little bit about not Asian, but Japanese stories, particularly. By the way, I'm an editor, also a translator. I see some familiar faces around here. I hope you don't get bored of me because I show up every now and then here and there. Okay, wait, share screen. So I want to share about a plot structure that is a common structure for Japanese literature. We in Indonesia very familiar with 3 acts plot structure, especially because it is being used in the Hollywood movies. If you watch Avengers, that's a 3-act plot structure. But Japanese plot structure, they have 4 acts. It's a little bit longer. That's why before we start the meeting today, we talk about Norwegian Wood that by Haruki Murakami, and we talk about how slow the pace is. That's because he used the 4X plot structure. I didn't read the book, but I know most of the Japanese structure use this. So what is 4X plot structure? Of course, there's 4 parts. It's called Kisho Tenketsu. The key is the introduction of the story. Usually they begin something as, how can I say, how the situation are, who is our protagonist are, who is our antagonist are. That is that will be introduced in key. And after that, the stories will goes and the problem raises in this part. That is why maybe some of you, when you read Japanese story, feel bored at first because that's the introduction part. They don't have problem yet. The problem will be shown at the show part. And then after that, they will have 10. That's the twist and turn of the story. And after that, they will have the ending, how the story resolve, how the protagonist will go on his life after the story is done. Okay, this plot structure, maybe you guys familiar with. It's also used in Doraemon. If you familiar with Doraemon, of course. Usually Doraemon will start their story with Nobita gets into trouble first. That's the key. That's how the background of the story. Nobita gets into trouble. Then after that, what is the problem? The problem, sorry, not the problem. What is the how the story goes? After Nobita gets into trouble, Doraemon tries to solve Nobita's problem. Doraemon gives his how can I say, his magical devices to Nobita, but then after that, the story will goes into twist and turn. For example, Giant punch Nobita and Nobita cannot solve the problem. That's the twist and turn. That's the thing. And after that, Nobita realized something about his mistake and his problem at first, and he kind of crying a little bit because of it. That's the Ketsu. That's the ending of the story. Okay, the next one I want to introduce is Weathering with You. Maybe you guys have read this book or maybe no. If you haven't, I hope there's no spoiler in here. Okay, the introduction part. Weathering with You is telling a story about a boy called Hodaka who is running away from his parent to Tokyo. He's from a very small island outside of Tokyo and he ran away. And he's running out of money. He's starving and Hina saved him. This is not a problem yet. It's just an introduction of who is Hodaka, who is Hina, and what's the kind of situation Hodaka is in. And the show is the problem. So the show is the how can I say, how the story goes. So for money, Hodaka will need a job. So he finds a job as an assistant director, for book director. For an editing house. So he had to write an article about Sunshine Girl, and he found out how Hina has an ability to control the weather. So they need money. There is an ability that they can use. So they established a new weather business to help Hina, and her brother also help Hodaka to find money. But then, what is the twist? The twist is that Sunshine Girl is not a new thing. It has been known all over Japan since the beginning of time, and there is a reason why Sunshine Girl exists, and that's how the story will twist and turn in kind of that. And the end of the story, Hodaka will do something, Hina will become something, and Tokyo will become into something that is more, how can I say, more crazy than how it was began. So I will give a little bit challenge for you if you have read Your Name. This is also a very obvious Kisho Tenketsu kind of structure, and you can find where it, how can I say, divided, where's the key, where's the Sho, Ten, and Ketsu. If you read Your Name or maybe another Japanese books, you can think about this for plot structure, and you, how can I say, you can try to divide, this is the key one, this is the Sho, this is Ten, this is Ketsu. And when you try to do this, maybe you will find out the Japanese book is very interesting because it's not using 3 plot structure like Indonesian book or any Western books. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Sandri. Okay, so we have a challenge. Do someone want to try? The key shot. What is it? I forgot.
Key shot tenketsu.
Okay, key shot and katsu of weathering with you. Your name, yeah. Okay, I have read your name and I love it. It's so full of mythology. I can talk about it for an hour, but we don't have the time. Okay, does anyone want to try? You can raise your hand. Have you read your name? Anyone? Okay, or you can just unmute your mic if you want to speak. Okay, some people haven't read it, yeah, but have watched it. I think it's quite the same, yeah. So if you have watched it, yeah, maybe you can also try to define the key, shoten, and katsu in your name. Okay, does anyone want to try?
Maybe I want to try.
Okay.
But I actually forgot how the story starts. So maybe there's some kind of missing points in what I remember about your name. But I kind of remember that the key starts when Mitsuha and Taki start their daily life, their routines and everything. They're different. That they are living in different cities. Taki is living in the city and Mitsuha is on the mountainside with deep and rich culture. And then the problem starts when they kind of mix. Their soul is switch. Yeah, the soul switching part. And then the really big problem is that they are not living in the parallel time. Like actually Taki is living at the time they are switching. Taki is already in the future and then Mitsuha is in the past. So the resolution or the katsu is like, I don't know if the katsu is at the time they are trying to evacuate Mitsuha's city from the meteor, or when they are going to reunite in the city. So I cannot differentiate between the resolution, because I think in your name they have like two problems. One is like the evacuation when the earthquake when the meteor strikes. And then the second problem is when they reunite in the end. So I think it's, I cannot differentiate this between which one is the katsu. So maybe Kak Andri can correct me if I'm wrong.
Thank you. So actually the key is when Taki and Mitsuha exchange their soul, and until they exchanging diaries in the phone, and that's the key. That's very long key. And the show is when the exchanging body part is ended. That's the problem rises. They exchanging body, they have fun with each other, they have conversation with each other, but then suddenly it stops. That's when the problem rises. That's the show. And the twist and turn is when you said that Mitsuha is from the past and Taki is from the future. That's the thing, because we didn't imagine that's what happening with them. We didn't imagine that they are from the different time. And the katsu is when they meet each other again. So yeah, if you realize the key is very long, that's why people don't get, how can I say, people get bored in Japanese literature, because sometimes the key is very long. There's no some kind of problem in there because it's very long key.
Yeah, it's a very long introduction until the
diary
exchanging.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, I agree. Like I found that in Norwegian wood, yeah, I got bored of the key, I think. Yeah, that's a very long journey.
Until the
Okay.
problem rises, it's very long.
Yeah,
It's
the problem.
usually like that. It's always like that.
Okay, there's a question from Opat. Kandri, is there any particular reason why sometimes the key is quite long?
Actually, I don't know. Maybe what Deska said in the chat is mostly because of it. I think the Japanese like allegories. They like to build the atmosphere. They like to build the situation in their book. For example, how can I say? Some people told me there is a classic writer. I forgot who. He writes about a person who is how can what's the English? I mean, when you woke up in the morning and you do this, I mean stretching your body. They use like 3 pages just to describe this. They start with the hand and how their eyes goes. They like that. They like to build the atmosphere and like to build the situation.
Koh Andre started with the stories from Sangkarut, like how they found the body under the sakura tree and everything. It's like the sakura tree itself is also the allegories of something. And we are looking for when we are looking for some other stories like in Sangkarut, like for instance, for some of you who don't even know Sangkarut or haven't read yet, one has published that one there, and there is a stories also about them. There is also a stories about them, like two guys, like a man living in a hospital, and he would have to hear like the strange sound and everything. So basically, like whatever it is there, whatever it is written there, it is just a matter of allegories. Or when you are like, for instance, when you are reading Matsuo Basho, the like the Japanese classic poet. Yeah, and one poem that I always remember from Matsuo Basho is "I am the one, I am a man having his breakfast, gazing morning glories." While in fact, basically, in the past, Basho did not even have the breakfast while he is writing the poems, but maybe he witnessed like the sunshine and everything, the sunlight while watching like the beautiful sceneries of the Japanese mountain. That's why he's writing that kind of things. Or I think most of us have some difficulties in understanding the Japanese literatures because of the allegories. Not to mention some of the Japanese classic erotic lit, I must say.
Yeah, like Deska said, Sankarot, it has a story about a man who is wondering why Sakura is so beautiful, and he finally realizes he thinks that there must be something gruesome inside that beautiful tree. So he have a conclusion that there must be a corpse inside, not inside, how can it, below Sakura tree, because it's too beautiful to be true. I mean, it's yeah, the allegories is a lot of allegories in Japanese literature.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Do anyone else want to ask maybe one more questions? Yeah. Okay. I read some short stories in the Monkey Literary Magazine, and there are some like children, supposed to be children's stories, but it's so complicated. it's like, so the vibe is out of this world like that, and yeah, it has some allegories also. Okay, does anyone else want to ask something? Maybe one more question before we go into breakout room for the book club meeting. Okay, if not, maybe, yeah. So we have 32 people. So we are going to have one breakout room, and some are staying in the main room. Yeah, because if we all stay here, it would be too long. But later in the end, we will gather here again and discuss the books. Yeah, yeah, you can. We will gather here again for the discussions. Okay, so maybe Ci Airin can do the breakout room.
Okay, I'm going to open the room, and
Yeah.
everyone has about 2 minutes to present their books in the breakout room. So the room is going to close in 30 minutes. So do keep mind of the time.
Okay.
Okay, open. Okay, you should see an invitation. Oh. Kak Andri and me, we stay in the main room. Sherry
Okay.
and Krisan will go into room 1.
Then I will stop the presentation.
Yes. Okay. All right. 18. Okay, some people still didn't go yet. Okay, that's okay. We can begin. All right. So, Kak Andri, we usually bring our own books, yeah? So I'll just start and then I'll go to the next one. And Kak Andri go last, yeah? To end it because you started it. So the book that I'm going to bring is this one. I'm going to talk a little bit about embroideries. Can you see there? Embroideries, Marian Satrap. Maybe some of you already know her name. She's an Iranian author, but she doesn't live in Iran anymore because she got into trouble for her books. But she also wrote Persepolis, if you know Persepolis, and then there's a sequel to Persepolis. I forgot the name. But it's very liberal. It's very liberal and very very feminist kind of book in a place that doesn't accept that, and so that's why she couldn't live there. Basically, embroideries is about tea. So it's about tea time, and then Iranian women, from whether they're old or young, grandmothers, socialites in the society, they gather around tea and they talk about, well, first of all, they talk about sex. They give sex tips, and then they also give they talk about their husbands and when their husbands cheat or when they cheat on their husband, that kind of thing. So it's very fun. I like it. I like it because it's scandalous and fun. So that's Embroideries by Marjan Satrap. It's a graphic novel, by the way. Okay, so who's next? And if you want to ask more about the book, you can do it in the chat, yeah? Remember, we don't have much time, so you have to volunteer yourself.
Okay, right. So is there anyone?
Go ahead, Opat.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Opat, and I'm new here, so nice to meet you all. So the book is probably some of you already read it because it's also already translated into Bahasa Indonesia. The Convenience Store Woman. Oh, what is it? Gadis Minimarket, yeah, in Bahasa Indonesia. So it's about, some of you already know the stories about a woman. She's 36 years old. She's working as a freelancer, not freelancer anyway. So she works in convenience store for many, many years. So maybe for all of her life. So anyway, it's about maybe some of you interpret it as someone who is asked to fit in a so-called normal society because she's weird. She doesn't want to get married. She just works like that for years. But some of you, no, not you. Some of us try to read something with amazing stories. This is not amazing, but for me myself, it feels relatable because I used to work in Japanese retail. So, the vibes, and it brings me memories, not in Japan, in Indonesia. So yeah, I really like the vibe and how the Japanese represent the retail store. And so that's the first reason why I bought this book. But anyway, with all the reviews and some reviews and comments about a woman trying to fit in society, I'm interested in one reviews on Goodreads. I forgot who, but I clicked the like. And maybe the reason why Furukura did all things is because she's an autistic person, or if I can convey to another term, is people on the spectrum. So even while it's true that we must respect people's decision to do in their life, it's not easy to understand someone on the spectrum. Even we as the normal person, it's hard to understand the other normal person. So it is really not a fault that if you cannot understand the decision of Furukura, because maybe they don't know that she's on the spectrum as well. So I was like, when I read the review, I was like, oh, he's right. And actually, I was involved with a person on the spectrum for about 2 years. So I learned a little bit about that. And I could, oh yeah, maybe because people on the spectrum, sometimes they are called like high function person. So like they look normal, but they're on the spectrum. So yeah, it's about is it about, no, it's not mental health. It's about, the sickness and something like that. So that's really interesting. So like I could see another perspective in the story. So yeah, it's really interesting for me. Oh, and one more thing, that although it's convenient store women, maybe Kandri knows, the Japanese translation is not woman, it's ningen, so it's human. So it's really interesting that why they translated into women as well as in Bahasa Indonesia. And more interesting is like all the comments from the other authors behind are all women. So I was like really wondering why. Anyway, so that's it for me. So hope you who already read this also enjoyed this book. I enjoyed this book a lot. Thank you.
Thank you, Apat. Interesting. Last month, somebody also talked about that, but completely different point of view. Very interesting. Okay, who's next?
Me. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Zakia.
I'm new here. This is my first time joining the Meti book, and this month I'm still reading Kartini's book, which talking about her thought, let's say her struggle to fight about her value. But at first, I'm kind of discomfort writing this book because I'm thinking about Kartini got spotlight just because she is elitist. She has so many privilege, while probably others women at her era is also has the same thought with her. And actually, I think many people think so. And I found a comment on Goodreads that thinks so, like I did at first of the beginning of this book, because like I'm questioning, he is also questioning about will Kartini got the spotlight if she doesn't have any Netherlands friends. And in this introduction of the book from the editor, they said that Kartini died after she gave birth her child, and then several years later, Dewi Sartika established a school for women. Then I wonder about how fast the information at that era spreading. So is it because of Kartini Dewi Sartika make the school or just because of herself. But uh, at, at after that, I realized Dewi Sartika also a privileged one. So no wonder probably she got access for knowledge and education as does Kartini. And somehow I love what I also wonder about Kartini's thought at that era. I mean that so not as advanced as now, but she can think about, let's say, women empowerment and the importance of education for regardless women or men, and then somehow interesting of her point of view about that she uh, doesn't about polygamy. So she thinks that marriage in polygamy is suffering a lot for women. Besides of that, she thinks at this era, women only have one purpose in life, which is marriage, and they are forced to marry someone they literally don't know at all. So I see Kartini is help, let's say, not only feminist at her era, but also a humanist because I see her as someone who have big dreams that like if it's possible for her, she would like to make impact for her society or in the bigger scale the country. So that's my kind of review for this book. Thank you.
Bravo, bravo. Can you drop the title in the chat? It's not Kartini's letters, right?
Yes, actually this is a compile of her.
Oh, it is her letters. Ah, okay.
Yeah, this is bahasa Indonesianya sih habis gelap terbitlah terang. Actually, there is no for Indonesian release. There is no digital book yet, but yesterday or 2 days ago, Marita Anissa just shared the free access of full of her letter from Monash University. So you guys probably can check her Twitter to get the link.
Thank you, Zakia. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay, Reynald, yeah. Go ahead, Reynald.
Okay. Hello. Can everyone hear me? Okay. I'm very new at this. I literally have a stack of Asian books next to me because I don't know which one. Because I got which one I want to talk here. But today I'll be talking about. Maybe this is a bit unknown to many people. This is Native Speaker by Chiang Lee. Chiang Lee is an South Korean immigrant from. He is currently now in America. Well, Native Speaker tells the story of Henry Park, an American. He grew up in America, but he was brought to the country at a very young age. So, the story is about his life, his family, and his work. He is a spy, not that kind of James Bond spy, but an industrial spy. He works spying for other companies, other people. he has a wife or maybe ex-wife. The first sentence in this novel says, "The day my wife left me, she gave me a list of who I was." But the wife keeps appearing in the novel later on. So the story consists of Henry Park. His latest assignment is to spy on a New York City councilman named John Kwang. He is Korean also. But okay. But in the sorry, I'm very bad at this. Okay.
It's okay. It's fine. You're doing great, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So Henry has lived a very hard and difficult life. First, as I said before, his wife left him. And well, this is not a spoiler, but he and his wife have a son who unfortunately died in an accident. And well, during his time spying on John Guang, he his wife got back together with him, and then we see how he is very conflicted in spying for Mr. Guang, because well, Mr. Guang is also Korean like him. But okay, that's basically all the snippet of the book. What I want to talk about.
Thank you, Reina. Thank you.
Okay, what I want to talk about native speaker here is that, well, Henry is a spy, correct? And native speaker discusses about the double identity. A spy has two identities. So in this entire book, Henry is basically trying to assimilate into the American life, even though he grew up in America. Well, that's basically it, I guess. I'm very sorry.
Thank you.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you're
I'm
doing great.
bad at
Great
this.
job. Very interesting. Very interesting.
Okay.
Never heard of that book. Never heard of that author before. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah. I wouldn't have heard it if it didn't get picked for the Penguin Job Caps collection. Basically, I have a major sundoku. I collect a lot of books. But
Okay,
yeah.
nice. Okay. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you, Reynald. We have to move on to the next one because of time.
Okay,
So
thank
it's
you.
Ririn. Yeah, Ririn is next.
Thank you. Well, hello everyone. This is my first time here. Thank you for the opportunity. So today I bring this one, Mata yang enak dipandang or Kind Looking Eyes from Ahmad Tohari. If you guys know, Ahmad Tohari is one of the well-known Indonesian writer. One of his famous book is Ronggeng Dukuh Paruk or The Dancer. It's already translated into English. Also, some of his novel too into Japanese, Dutch, and Dutch. So it's pretty interesting because actually this is the anthology of short stories. This book consists of 15 short stories. The main story is the Mata yang enak dipandang, Kind Looking Eyes. What is interesting from him, Mr. Ahmad Tohari, is basically always write about the low class worker. I mean, his writing basically about social issue in our society, which we can relate to. Also, some of his works consist of a very beautiful sentence, I'd say, in Indonesian literature, of course. But we can still relate to what he talked to. It's actually something happened around us, and it really makes us feel very deep empathy after we read his work, his book, his short story, and I really like his work. Actually, first reading his book is around middle school, so right after that, I've been looking for his book right away. And another story in this book, actually, it's all from his works on newspapers. So this first story already published in Kompas. It's around like 2009, if I'm not mistaken. So his work is basically from 1980 up until 2012 for this novel. So yeah, for me, it's pretty interesting because, to be honest, I'm not reading the Indonesian literature that much, but Ahmad Tohari really like catch my eye. So yeah, that's what I can sharing about. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ririn. Cool. Okay. Next one, I think Vienna, yeah, raised hand next.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
You changed your hat.
Yes, I made it by
From last
myself.
time, nice.
It's a turban. Okay, I will introduce the whole. It's a bestseller novel in Korea. It's already translated in Bahasa Indonesia. It's about a psychological thriller about loneliness and about the darkness uh, of us that we want to bury it. The character main is Oh Gi, that has woken from from coma after accident, but the accident made his wife's life make his wife died, and then I must read this first. But, and then he was taken care by his mother-in-law. He pretend that his mother-in-law not dislike him because he thinks that he killed his wife and he killed his mother-in-law alive because always want to take care of him like that. But the end of these stories, maybe it get too spoiler. He will buried by his mother-in-law because he thinks that he made a mistake of in his life with his wife, his friends, his relatives, and his mother-in-law, and he thinks that he were what is in English said pantas didapatkan.
Worth it?
Pantas didapatkan. Dia pantas mendapatkan hal itu gitu. What in English say?
He should have. He should have.
Yeah, maybe no.
Deserves. Yeah, exactly. Deserves. Fabulous. Deserves. Yeah.
Yes. Nah, you think he deserves to have this course of him? So at the end, he was birthed by his mother-in-law. That's all. That's for me. That's all.
Thank you, Fiona. Wow, Korean thrillers are real scary. Crazy. Okay. Rosa, ya, Scholastica Rosa. Is that how? What's the best to call you, Rosa or
Actually, it's Tika.
Tika? Okay. Hi, Tika.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Tika. I'm also a booktuber and bookstagrammer. My YouTube channel and Instagram is Scholastica Rosa. And today I want to talk about my current read, which is my first Japanese light novel. It's Itachi Shinden Komyohen. It tells a story of Uchiha Itachi, if you know. It's Sasuke's older brother. And he is a morally great character in this. He grew up in the environment after the Great Giant War. So he see a lot of people suffer from the war, and he described his world as Jigoku, as Jigoku Yoni Sekai. How should I say? Like a world like hell. He doesn't want to live in a world like that, so he decided that he want to change the world. He want to make a world a better place. He want to live peacefully and no more war. But he grew up into a better, no. He grew up into a very talented shinobi or ninja in this book. And he became a double spy for his village, Konoha, and also his clan, Uchiha. But unfortunately, these two parties have conflict and they want to kill each other and start a new war. And the solution to that is to kill one of the parties. So this is a very tough decision for Itachi, and it makes the character so, I don't know why, but at first I hate him so much because he make Sasuke being villains in the Naruto world. But after I learned why he did what he did, I understand his decision. That's it for me.
Thanks, Tika. Thank you. Okay, who's next? I didn't see any raised hands. We only have about 10 more minutes in this breakout room. So if you don't share in this room, then you're going to have to present to everyone in the big room. So, oh, okay. 2 raised hands. No, still the same. Oh, Sari. Sari, yeah. Okay, go ahead, Sari.
Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Sari. This is my first time joining this book club, so I hope you just can understand what I'm saying because I'm not really good in English, by the way. Today I wanna say about this book. Maybe you know about it. The title is Memory of Glass by Akiyoshi Rikako. She is my favorite author, by the way. The book is really good, I think, because it talks about a woman who killed a man. But the problem is, the woman is amnesia. So when the police came to capture her, she just can't remember anything because she is amnesiac. She can only remember things about 10 until 15 minutes in her life, all her life. So her mind stuck when she is in high school, but now she is like 40 years. And then because in the crime of scene, only her and all the evidence is connecting to her. So the police have no other choice other than capture her. So they captured her, but there's these two police, one policeman and then one policewoman. They really didn't think an amnesiac woman can kill a man. So they continue to investigate the case, and then they found that she is not the real killer, but there's another people. I won't say who because I want you guys all can read this book and enjoy the plot twist, the mystery. That's why I really love this book because Akiyoshi Rikako is in every her book she just there's this big plot twist. You just can expect the ending. You can predict it. So I really like this book. And then not this book is not just about the mystery or plot twist. This book is really heartbreaking. You have to believe me. Why? Because just expect you guys. We how can we enjoy our life if we can only remember like 15 minutes in our life and then we just forget all about it? How can you? Just I just can't like, oh, this is so heartbreaking. I just can't read this book. So I want you guys to read this. This is book is so good. 5 stars for me. Okay. Maybe only that all I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sari. Ya, Kak Andri did translate that. Ya, Kak Andri ya. Okay, who's next? Let's see. Yeah, no raised hands. Go ahead. We only have about 6 more minutes in the breakout room. So maybe like 3 people if you go really fast.
I want to go next.
Okay, who's that? Alvinaya, go ahead.
So hello everyone, my name is Vina, and today I want to tell you about this book, Remorse. This is Indonesian books by Mustika and Amalia. So the genre is romance fiction. This story tells about a girl named Tiara. So she is mute. She was born with disabled, so she cannot speak. She speaks with sign language, but she still can hear very well. So sometimes she got insulted by her friends, but her parents love her very much. And there's a boy, a handsome boy named Elang. So
he has a bad past. So when he was in junior high school, her parents died in a car crash. So after that, he lived with his grandfather and grandmother, and her life become messed up because of that. And in senior high school, he become a boy who has no expression because of that, like don't have any future. His purpose of his life is only to die. He like to drive with his sport motorcycle. He ride with high speed, and he became a drunk. He has so many beer in his house, and his grandmother just cannot do anything because of Elang. But someday Elang meet a girl. Her name is Clara, and this girl make Elang love her and become his girlfriend. So because of that, Elang has motivation to his life. And but not only that, when Elang and Clara in relationship, Clara died because of motorcycle accident, and because of that Elang so sad again. So he became a drunk again. He like to ride with his motorcycle and hope that he got accident and he could die and meet his parents and his girlfriend, and so like that. And by the way, Tiara is in same school with Elang, and she cannot speak. She is mute, so she in love with Elang, but she cannot do anything. She's too afraid to express, to say her feeling to Elang. And there's one day, Tiara got accident until she's coma because of someone. But in her coma, she's still thinking about Elang, the boy that she loves, until she doesn't realize that there's another boy that loves her so much, but she don't know. So the things that I like from this book is this book contains good quotes in each chapter, and I love how this book inspired me. It makes me grateful, and this book not only teach me about love, but it teach me about life and about how important is our life. So I recommended this book if you love to read romance, but with sad plot. I think that's all that I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Alfina. It does sound sad. Okay, we only have like a little bit more than 1 minute. There's two raised hands, Vic and Fenindaya from Book Talk. Hi. What do you want to do? Do you want to go really quick and then one person present in the big room? Feninda, can you do it in 1 minute? You're a book talker. You can do it. Go for it.
Okay, let me introduce myself first. My name is Feninda, and today I get confused what book I should bring here, because I read so many books of fashion. I recently read this book, but today I will bring another book because I didn't finish Real Face. So I will bring this book, Tiga Dunia by Ramanugraha. This book is actually talk about boy who named Datan is want to be a thief. It's really interesting because I never meet the book that the main character wanna be a villain in the book. It's because when he was 7 years old, she met with a thief named Anna. After that, they get a training, work hard to be a thief. Maybe that's all for me. Just because of 1 minute.
Perfect. Book talkers.
yes,
I knew you could do it. Perfect. Okay. So Vic in the next one in the big group, yeah? Okay. We're all right. We only have like 30 more seconds. When we go into the big group, so Vic is going to present his group and I'm going to ask Opat to give a short summary of our group discussion, okay? Where's Opat?
Sorry, what?
Yeah, you can do it. Short. Think book talk, 1 minute. Okay, everyone's back. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Actually, there's one person in my room that hasn't present her book. Maybe we can give her a chance.
Yeah, somebody in my room also raised hand, Vic, and then there's some couple other people that didn't get to present yet, but so let's see how it goes if we have time.
Okay.
So how about my group first or your group first, Sherry?
Okay, how about your group first then?
Okay, go ahead, Vic. Yeah, Vic, yeah. Go ahead, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so yeah, hi everyone. My name is Vic. I'm here. So I was about it. So well, I'm still not changing it to confessions by here it is, the book. So Minato so a teacher named Moriguchi Yuko, who is going to resign from her job as a teacher. She gave a speech about her doctor who died in an accident.
Okay, I think it's the connection.
I'm sorry, the signal is kind of
Yeah,
unstable.
Vic, maybe you can turn off your video.
I'll try. So after that, so in telling the story about her disease, her daughter, she found out that her daughter is killed students. So after telling the students about that story, this is where she start to plot her events on these two students who killed his daughter. So what I found from this the story with the mother is an important role on these children because these children and their reason to kill people it's affect their mother treat them. So yeah, that is what I think about these books. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vic. And maybe it's the turn for my group. Yeah, Honey. Maybe Honey can present her book.
Okay. Hi all. So I gonna review about my book If Cat Disappeared from the World, or in Indonesian I read the title is Jika Kucing Lenyap dari Dunia. So before I read this book, I already read Memory Police or Polisi Kenangan, which already reviewed by Malinda in my group. So the main theme is quite similar about losing things, losing if in memory police, the thing suddenly disappeared and the people didn't know what's next. Things will be disappeared. In this book, the main character, which is an unnamed character also, just in memory police, is asked by the devil, by the devil, which things could be traded to for himself. So in this book, he's very terminally ill. He's on the last stage of cancer, so he has to trade himself with things in this world. For example, movies, and also like the title is his cat. So this is a very interesting premise. If in memory police, it's very mysterious, very gloomy, but in this book is quite humorous maybe. But I think it's also full of life lessons about how we appreciate things in our life, about how we look many things that many persons think that it's not really meaningful. But if that thing is disappeared from our world, what happens next? So this is a light novel, not really hard to read, but it's recommended if you want to find some life meaningful and inspiration, or maybe some motivation for you. So I can recommend it. This is this book. Okay, thank you.
Okay, actually that reminds me of the Traveling Cat Chronicles.
Yes, I haven't read that book. Maybe it's on my next TBR. Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I think it's discussion times. Yeah, is anyone left? Airin from your group?
Yeah, actually, there's a couple from my group that didn't
Oh,
go.
okay.
How about for the people that was in my group, if you would like to go, we'll take 3 more. Just can you raise your hand? Okay. If not, then Opat is going to give a quick summary, Sharia, for our
Okay.
group. Yeah, I don't see any raised hands, so why not? Oh, let's have Opat give a quick summary.
Okay. This is quite surprising. So in our group, let's say our group, in one of the groups, so we talked about some Asian literatures from Japan and from Korea, and of course from Indonesia. Not only the fiction but also non-fiction, like Ibu Kartini's letters in Habis Gelap Terbitlah Terang. It's really interesting how, like maybe they cannot represent the one country's literature, but it could bring us some, ideas or information or stories that are interesting, like Japan with the bug and my cat, with the weird stories, and Korea with the dark ones, like with the killers and the spy stories and something, and also Indonesian stories with the down to earth stories until the romance stories. So it's really interesting that people read a lot of genre, and it's right. I really like that people can enjoy the reading. So that's it, I think. Is there anything to add? I don't know. Thank you.
Yay!
Okay, so should we start the discussion maybe? Airin?
Yeah, sure. I was very surprised because at least in my group, I only knew about like 2 or 3 authors out of the other authors that was presented. So I was very happy to have learned a lot and to get more names in my head, more names and more titles.
Okay. Okay, then we'll have the discussion. So if you want to talk about the books that others were talking, you can, or any books, yeah, just yeah, this is the discussion part. And for my part, I think I really like Kak discuss book because she got a lot of Asian book from each countries like Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, and so on. Yeah, that's so interesting. I think because I haven't read any book from Philippines, I haven't read any book from Malaysia. I only have read one book from Thailand, which is Penerbit Haru translated. Yeah, the cat Pandada. That's the only Thailand book I have ever read. Okay, I think that's it for me. If anyone want to talk, you can just open your mic or raise your hand.
Oh, by the way, Sherry has shared the link, yeah, for the book giveaway in the chat.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, you can feel that for the book giveaway and loyalty card. And actually, there's one of my former teacher, Miss Ririn. I haven't say hi. Okay, does anyone want to talk about the books? Yeah, anything is fine.
Can I add something before I forget? Yeah, while we are in the main group.
Yeah, sure.
I think the only reasons like well, we are talking about the Asian literatures here, so it basically I am intrigued to ask you a questions like first, what do you think about Asian literature, and the second one, regarding the position of Asian literature in the world literatures. How many Asian literatures have you read? Because I saw that we only know some particular, we only know like some names of, you know, the names of some particular authors, right? So what is the problem? What do you think? Why we only know like why we only know like some particular author?
For publishers, it's the access.
Well,
experience.
you just want us to praise you, huh? One of the publisher whose main focus is in Asian literature. So anyone, maybe I would love to hear you share. I would love to hear some of you speaking and sharing here, like what I normally do to my students.
I think I quite agree with Kandri because a lot of publishers have not published like Thailand books and Philippine books and Malaysian books. So I think the access to that books, yeah, if you don't speak English, it's so limited like that. I think, and yeah, we have to talk more about Asian Asian books from Thailand, Philippines, and so Vietnam or so on. After this meeting, I think.
From what I've seen in our discussions, I saw like some of how to say, like some of us are not familiar with some other authors, while they are particularly or actually are how to say, like quite prominent in the circulation of the world literatures. Like for instance, when we are talking about India, I have a friend here. Rhea is an expert in Indian literature. So whenever you want to talk about India, you go for her and she will name you some of the list, you know, some of the lot of Indians authors, either the Indian or the Indian diaspora. But we often forget like one main thing here, which is the translations. Why can't we read a lot of Asian literatures? Why can't we read a lot about the African literatures? Why can't we read a lot about the South American literature? It's because of the translations, right? And mind you that to translate a literary work is not an easy thing. Like ask Mas Andri, what is your difficulties in translating those Japanese literatures? Apalagi kan Japanese literature selalu bikin orang bunuh diri ya, kayak so depressive, unhappy. Hah, how would you stick on that theme gitu loh? Uripmu kayak sudah kurang susah lah.
Okay. Yeah. the most difficult part on translating is not the translating word per word, as I always said. It's translating the culture behind each word. I mean, it's not, how can I say, maybe I'm retelling a story again. I cannot say it in English because I don't know what the English is.
But you know, like especially when you are translating in Bahasa Indonesia, ya, Bahasa Indonesia is not an easy language for me because when I am at home, I'm a Javanese. I am at home and I normally will speak in Jawa Kromo with my parents, right? Or when I am at work, I would normally speak in English, or I would normally speak in Italian. So my Bahasa Indonesia, when I have to come to the formal Bahasa Indonesia, I always say mutar aja gitu loh, mati aja kan. So and we have a lot of terms, a lot of cultural terms in Bahasa Indonesia. Like for instance, if you are a translator like Mas Andri, how would you transcribe ini angkringan?
Yeah, you cannot translate that to English.
Ya, atau bagaimana mau translate ini apa kok yang kemarin aku ini di presentasinya penerbit Haru cobek sama muntu, or how would you translate like bantal and guling gitu kan? And even for one term gitu loh, kayak beras itu aja in English we always say rice, but in bahasa Indonesia we also have beras, we also have dedak ya yang ini
gabah.
We also have gabah gitu loh, yang semuanya dalam bahasa Inggris tuh kayak wah cuman rice gitu loh, tapi orang Indonesia memperumit dirinya sendiri dengan banyak nama. And mind you juga untuk translating like an Indonesian literary work to Indonesian literary work to English is not so it's not so cheap. A friend of mine, he is one of the prominent Indonesian writers. He would have to spend almost 80 million loh untuk translating one book. Basically, we are talking about this kind of thing in the previous meeting with Penerbit Haru. Maybe Koh Andri can share you also my presentation there later.
Yeah, it was interesting presentation.
Itu. Ada PPT-nya ya, Ko ya?
Yeah.
Okay, so if someone maybe want to respond, you can just open your mic. But I think it's very interesting that our language is so wide, Indonesian. So we have a lot of words to choose from, I think. Okay.
Apart from the publishers and the translations and the translators thing, like this just came up to me that one of the reasons that about these, like we don't really read that many Asian literature as in so many countries is because, well, as in for myself, sometimes I don't want to go out of my comfort reading. Like for example, because to try something new, even for reading, is sometimes like I'm too lazy to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Like sometimes like that. So yes, apart from that, it's because like we still stick to our comfort reading, and we still want like the purpose of our reading maybe is not so widely purposed about the literatures and some things, but it's just like to enjoy the book that I really like. Maybe that could be one of the reasons. I think
maybe because we do not want to challenge ourselves.
Yeah.
You only read in your comfort zone.
Yes. I mean, this maybe one of the reasons. I'm not saying that it's true or wrong. It's just the idea of the reason.
Actually, there is a little bit. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Just okay. I just want to talk about the translation process, especially in Japanese literature. What I know of Yuki Mishima's book, one of his work, Stars, was recently translated in around 2019 or something. But when it was translated in English, it doesn't really encapsulate what Yuki Mishima was trying to say. And it ended up being very bad for some people who already understand the meaning of it in English, in Japanese, and try to read it in English. It's like a completely different. It's like a completely different book or a completely different idea even. So I think for a lot of Asian literature with the rich words, the wordings, the culture, so it's hard to translate it to English. I think that is one of the main reason why it's hard, and it's incredibly inaccessible for a lot of languages to, explore more of Asian literature, I think.
Shall I comment? Can I make a comment on it? Right. So this is what I've always think as a book enthusiast. Like we always put Asian and African literatures as the second-hand citizens. Why ya? Karena penerbit kebanyakan juga adanya di Barat yang punya duit. How many publishers that focus on the Asian lit or the African lit like you think? Kan cuman only some gitu loh. We have penerbit Haru in Indonesia, right? And we also have the apa kok yang nama yang di Singapura itu loh. Focus on African and also focus on African and also Asian literatures. The Heinemann one, sorry. Now we also have the Tilted Axis Press along with some others. Tapi berapa banyak sih yang focus on the Asian literatures or African literatures as a second-hand citizen? So when we are talking about the Asian literatures, it's basically like one whole of politics. Do you mind if I share the presentation that we had with Penerbit Haru a long while ago? Can we share it here?
We still have time.
Okay, let me share it here. This is what we are talking in the. This is what we are talking about. This one here. I'll send you the PDF in that one. In our in our chat box, so you can have it. Agak lama ya tapi ya. Or do you want me to? Aku juga bisa share ini sih, bisa share screen tapi I don't think it's a good idea. So I think that's all.
Or maybe the ones who want to see the presentation can contact Kadeska after the meeting.
I tried to send the presentation to Sherry, but I think the size is too big. Maybe after the meeting I will send it.
I'm sending it to every one of you here. It's processing now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so does anyone else want to comment on the discussions or anything else? Oh, I just want to ask about the Rapi Jali book because I'm interested in that. Is it as a series? Is it worth reading? Like, I want to read, but is it worth reading as a series or not? Like that. If you have read Rapi Jali. Okay, and Reynold, maybe Reynold raise hand first.
Hello. Okay. I want to comment on why we don't discover Asian books like Western books does. Well, I think. Okay. So before last year, I didn't get into Japanese literature. Like I read Akiyoshi Rikako and Makoto Shinkai, but that's about all. And then the culture around me changed a little bit. I discovered this little scamp, Mr. Dazai Osamu. This is from Bungo Stray Dogs. And while I was watching and reading that, I started to buy more Japanese literature book, I started to discover more authors, like him, Chuya Nakahara, and Junichiro Tanizaki. Okay, so my point is, we don't discover a lot of Asian literature because, well, the culture revolves mostly around Western authors and Western books. Like, I mean, we know who Jane Austen is, we know who Charlotte Bronte is, but do we talk much about Yuko Tsushima? No. Do we talk a lot about this guy, Akutagawa? Probably not. Even though his story is made into one of the most successful movie in history, Rashomon. So that's basically it. I think the culture just doesn't revolve around Asian literature for, I don't exactly know what reason. Why can we just do that? Why can we just talk more, discover, bring a lot more Asian authors, Asian books into the spotlight instead of just talking of the same old, not to discredit any of those. Okay. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank Kadeska for making very critical questions about our readings and why we share a lot of Japanese books and everything. But I want to continue from what Opat had told us. Actually, I think we are very familiar with Japanese culture, like from manga. For me, like for my generation, we grow with manga and Japanese cartoon and everything, and it's become our comfort zone, and then it becomes our source of escapism in our adult world. And maybe we are very comfortable in that, and because I just checked my wish list and it is very dominated by Japanese literature, but Kadeska's question made me question about my wish list. Like, maybe when we are familiar with something and it is very mainstream in our culture, like not only Asian literature, not only Japanese literature, but also Western literatures, they are available in our bookstores in many different genres, rather than the Southeast Asian ones. Like, if we went to Gramedia, there are much more translation on Western, like Harlequins or Western Metropop or Western templates, and also Japanese literature. They come in many forms in translation. Maybe Kak Andri told us many things about that. But if we want to seek a lot of Southeast Asian literature, we have to do a lot more effort. Like I have heard the Ocean Vuong's On Earth We Were Briefly Gorgeous, but I rarely know it in our local bookstores or big bookstores around in Jakarta. So I have to seek what Post Bookstore or Transit Bookstore, how they curate the Southeast Asian literature. So yes, it is very, like, we have to jump from our comfort zone if we want to seek really Asian, because Asian not only is Asian, right, Kadeska? It is also Southeast Asian, also Indonesian. But I think the question is, maybe we are still sick that East Asian is still superior or everything implicitly, maybe on our back of mind. That's all from me.
That's so interesting. And I think we often forget Middle Asian, like India and also Iranian. I think Iranian, I don't know if Iranian is still Asian. Yeah, okay. And we're running out of time. So maybe after Zakia, we are going to close the meeting for today. And going to remind you, there's a G form in the chat for giveaways, and you can post on Instagram story for the hats. Okay, I think that's it. Zakia, you can speak.
Okay, first of all, I thank for Kadiska to bring this issue out, and this is interesting why people still not really aware about Asian literature, but thanks God, at least East Asian literature is raising awareness now. First, because we have a publisher that focus on it. Thank you for Penerbit Haru, and then the rising of the K-pop idol. Yes, I just want to mention about it. They have influenced broad include here for us, and as actually I would like to bring this in point of view for actually my background is KOL influencer, and I currently read about a cartoonist letter. She mentioned a lot on her letter that people are waiting. They just waiting someone to act first, so they gonna follow. So here I want to highlight the importance of influencer in this industry, which is still not get the spotlight yet. Uh, I would like to encourage many people uh, to read Asian books gitu. In not only East Asia but also Southeast Asia, and then India and South Asia, and then Middle East include Iranian and so on and so forth. Actually, to be honest, I'm not reading Asian book a lot, but starting to read it more since I read Korean and Japanese literature. So I hope people, let's say, like Kadesa, who already have awareness about it, and I see several of book influencer or book tweet or bookstagram that already have interest on to campaigning about what is that they can writer of colors or what is voice something voice what is if you know a book club named diversity. I think they campaign about this too, but and they give many recommendation about Southeast Asian books, so you can follow them. But about Indian or Middle East, I really listen about that. So that's with African. So I think it's homework for all of us, not only for the readers, but also for the publisher or translator itself. Because if we don't have the market itself, we can make it. And another homework is, let's say, Southeast Asia is not popular yet because of the problem in translation. How many people in Indonesia is capable to translate those literature from the first language itself? Because I often see many people quiet little bit complaining about translation process itself because they prefer to read the book from the first language itself rather than translate to English first, then translate it in Indonesia if we want to read it in Indonesia. So I think this is my insight. I hope maybe later after discussion or another discussion, we still raising up this issue and get the situation better for more access in Asian literature abroad, not only East Asia itself, like Korean and Japanese. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zakia.
Sherry,
And we'll
can you get
also
just like one short conclusion?
okay.
Okay, so this is sorry, Ko Andri, I took your platform. All right, so I just wanted to tell you this. Asian for centuries, we Asian as for centuries are considered as the second class citizens, second class world citizens. Okay, and let me tell you that literature is not only a fun tool for you to read or for you to have fun, but literature is also a tool for you to resist. If you do not want to be considered as the second-class citizens, then try to challenge yourself. You are a book lover, you are book enthusiast, so try to use, the things that you love to resist. We are benefited from the Japanese and Korean literature that are flourishing. So why I encourage you also, why don't you challenge yourself, to read a little bit more and to promote a little bit more of the Asian literature as a part of the world literature. Don't want to be called as a second-class citizens? Then resist.
Okay, thank you, Kadeska, for the short conclusion. Yeah, I agree, and I want to challenge myself more to read more Asian books in the future, not just the popular ones. Yeah, but more books from more countries, I think. Okay, so I think that's it, our meeting for tonight. Do any of my partners want to say something? Airin, Krisan, or Andri? Okay, Airin said no. Andri, maybe? Do you want to say something?
Kok Andri sudah speechless.
Okay. Okay, and Kak Krisan, do you want to say something before we end the meeting?
No, I think all that is needed to be said has already been said.
Okay.
That's all.
I think tonight's meeting is it's insightful. Okay, and we will conclude all of your book recommendations. So yeah, don't worry about not getting all the recommendations. You can check on our Instagram later. Yeah, we will post the conclusion later. Okay, thank you everyone for joining, and see you in May's meeting. Yeah, with a new team.
Carrie, wait, did we do a screenshot?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Okay, let's do the screenshot. Okay, who will screen?
Let's bring the book.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Okay, let's show the books. Wait, I will take my.
Ray, where is your book? Oh, somebody mentioned about the carnal desire in apa? Ini ya, tadi. Shima.
Who will screenshot it? Airin, me, or Kak Krisan?
Kamu aja. You. Can you do it? Or can Krisan do it?
Airin. My laptop is not in a very good condition.
To you in the screenshot, and I'll send it to your Instagram, okay?
Fabulous.
Okay, so everyone just hold your pose because I have like 2 pages here. Right? Ready? Okay. So 1, 2, and 3. The first pages, say hi. All right, and then the second one. 1, 2, and 3. Hold your pose. Cheers. That's it. Okay. Do you want to do that one more time? So we have like 4 pictures. Okay, so now gaya bebas, whatever, with the book or not. All right, okie dokie. So 1, 2, and 3. Cheers. Second one. 1, 2, and 3. Cheers. Hold your hat. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
See
See you next month.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good night. Thank you, Andri.
Thank you, Andri.
Ko Andri sudah. Thank you, Ko Andri, for letting me join. Thank you, Matty Book Club, for letting me join. I'm sorry I took the platform.
It's okay. It was fun.
Such a
It became spicy. You know what's really funny? About screenshots is when you take the first screen, everyone on the second one still does a pose, right? And then you're taking the second one, but everyone in the first one is still doing the pose, so it's really funny. It's like, no, it's not you now, it's them. No, it's really funny, anyways.
So
Okay.
the next discussion. So you guys hold this monthly discussions. This kind of discussion monthly or weekly or something.
Monthly.
With the different themes and in English, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lovely. Would love to join next time.
Nice to meet you. We'll keep in touch.
Keep in touch. Thank you for allowing me to join. Thank you, Ko Andri.
Thank you, Kandri.
Okay, then bye everyone, maybe.
Huh? Kenapa?
Should we close the meeting?
Yeah, let's close it. I have to go to sleep.
Okay.
Aku besok pagi-pagi subuh ke Labuan Bajo, Andri.
Nice trip, Ci.
Have a nice holiday.
Dadah.
Yo. Thank you.
Bye everyone.